Okay, we're about to watch a left-handed hitter. As you can see, he starts out with his hands up real high. Um, when you start with your hands that high, you're vulnerable to creating a loop in your swing, and as you'll see, he does have a loop in his swing. He's starting out with his hands up here. Up. He starts with his hands up here, and you'll see he'll drop his hands down to this area here, and he starts his swing. You can see him as he strides, he's bringing his hands down. It's almost like he's got a hitch in his swing. All right, there's his hands to start, and that's where his hands end up. Um, Another issue you will see is he starts out, let's rewind that a little bit more, starts out with his shoulders relatively parallel with the ground. Back shoulder, that's not looking like parallel to the ground. Okay, and you're going to see that by the time he finishes his swing, it's going to be more like this. And that is never good because that's called his whole backside is collapsing. Um, it's or dipping. Okay. Lastly, one thing he does do well is he does have his feet about shoulder width apart. He's got his back foot lined up, or his front foot lined up with the back corner of the plate, which is putting him back in the box so he'll get a long look at pitches. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about was the path of his bat. The path of his bat, you can see that he's also wrapping his bat around his head. And you can see the long path of his swing. The head of the bat goes in basically this direction. The head of the bat's got to go all the way out here to get to the ball. And what he should be trying to do is he should be trying to get the head of the bat from here to here as quick as possible. So there should be very little loop to his swing. It should be more like a banana. Watch the loop of his swing. Finally, the telltale sign of a hitter who's going to experience trouble at the plate is a hitter whose eyes, um, who's changing the level, changing his head, position of his head. Um, you'll see the position of his head right there, and I'll use green. Position of his head. All right, it starts there, and you're going to see when you're changing your eye level that much, okay, that means the path of the pitch is going to drop. So if your eyes are dropping the pitch, you're getting a different perspective of the pitch, and it's tougher for you to hit that ball square if the level of your head is moving. So those are several flaws in his swing. I will point out one other thing he does well, and that is he does have a rigid front leg at the point of contact. His front leg is rigid. He's hitting off of a a rigid front leg. Um, but you can see all of his weight is thrown forward, and that's never a good sign either. So if I can rewind this a little bit, you'll see that as he's making contact, he's hitting off a rigid front leg. Um, but he's coming up on off his toe. All of his weight is thrown forward, um, and that's never a good idea. So the weight distribution should be roughly 60-40.